Bridges and buildings are meant to stand the test of time. Sturdy symbols of progress and engineering brilliance. But what happens when that brilliance is more oops than awe? From glass bridges with a flair for drama to million-dollar structures washed away like sandcastles, the world has seen its fair share of construction fails. Whether it's nature's fury or just plain negligence, these disasters are a stark reminder that when things go wrong, they go spectacularly wrong. Buckle up, because gravity always wins. Harmony Ridge Trestle Fire.
Just a few miles out of Chama stands a burning bridge that could threaten it all. Fire crews were called out last night around 11:30. Today, fire is still smoldering on the Lobato Trestle.
Nestled in the forested Sierra Nevada foothills, the Harmony Ridge Trestle once stood as a historic wooden bridge along California's scenic trails. That is, until a fiery twist turned it into a cautionary tale. In August 2021, a fast-moving wildfire, part of the devastating Dixie Fire, swept through Nevada County and engulfed the trestle in flames. Within hours, the wooden structure was reduced to smoldering ruins, its charred remnants collapsing into the ravine below. Local hikers and history buffs mourned the loss. Built in the early 1900s as part of a logging railway, the trestle had long since become a beloved landmark for outdoor adventurers. But wildfire season doesn't care about nostalgia. With rising temperatures and record-breaking droughts, the Harmony Ridge Trestle didn't stand a chance. What makes this event particularly tragic is that it wasn't an engineering flaw or reckless design. It was nature, supercharged by climate change, delivering a brutal reminder. Bridges don't just fall from shoddy bolts or bad blueprints. Sometimes they burn. So the next time you marvel at a quiet, wooden trail bridge nestled in the trees, take a moment, because sometimes even the most peaceful paths go up in smoke. Hassanabad Bridge collapse. When you think of catastrophic bridge failures, you probably picture earthquakes or poor engineering. But in northern Pakistan, it was a full-on glacier smackdown. Enter the Hassanabad Bridge, a vital link on the Karakoram Highway, connecting communities, traders, and the occasional daring tourist. Unfortunately, in May 2022, Mother Nature said, "Let's see how you handle this." Thanks to an extreme heat wave, the Shishpa Glacier decided it was time for a dramatic exit. A massive glacial lake outburst flood, also known as a galof, because even disasters deserve cool acronyms, roared downstream like a watery wrecking ball. Spoiler alert, the bridge never stood a chance. Chunks of concrete tumbled like dominoes as the unstoppable flood wiped it from existence. With reconstruction costs climbing to millions, locals were left wondering if bridge insurance is a thing. The takeaway? Climate change doesn't just melt glaciers, it demolishes bridges too. So next time you cross one, maybe check the weather and the nearest glacier's mood. China's glass fiasco. You know what's a brilliant idea? Building a bridge made entirely of glass, dangling thousands of feet above the ground. And you know what's an even better idea? Not checking if it can withstand actual wind. Welcome to China's glass fiasco. In 2021, at Pian Mountain, a suspension bridge, made from see-through glass panels, became a tourist's worst nightmare. Picture this, you're mid-air, soaking in the views, when a gust of wind decides to play villain. Suddenly, the glass panels start shattering like a TikTok fail compilation. One unfortunate visitor was left clinging to the railing, 330 feet above the abyss, undoubtedly reconsidering every life choice. And if that's not enough, some glass bridges in China even come with fake cracking sound effects. Because why not traumatize tourists for sport? The East Taihang Glasswalk pulled this stunt in 2017, making people believe their next step might be their last. Fun. These glassy gimmicks are a prime example of what happens when thrill outruns common sense. Maybe next time, we stick to solid ground and leave the shattering to bad decisions and poorly microwaved leftovers. Tacoma Bridge disaster.
Finally, the swinging road and the suspension cables give way and plunge into the water below. Fortunately, the only casualties were a car stalled on the bridge and a dog.
Ah, the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. A marvel of modern engineering until it decided to moonlight as a giant noodle. Opened in 1940 and dubbed Galloping Gertie, this suspension bridge was supposed to be a sleek, streamlined masterpiece connecting Tacoma and Gig Harbor, Washington. But Mother Nature had other ideas. Just 4 months after its grand opening, Gertie showed off her secret talent: interpretive dance. On November 7th, with only a mild 40-mile-per-hour breeze, the entire bridge began twisting and writhing like it was auditioning for Dancing with the Stars. Cars bounced like toys, and steel cables snapped dramatically, because apparently, bridges can have main character energy. The highlight? A lone car abandoned mid-bridge, with a terrified cocker spaniel named Tubby trapped inside. Don't worry, a heroic rescue attempt was made, though Tubby, unlike the bridge, wasn't a fan of the spotlight. With one final twist, Gertie flung herself into the Puget Sound, leaving engineers and spectators in stunned silence. The cause? Engineers underestimated something called aeroelastic flutter. Translation: wind and design flaws turned the bridge into a giant wobble machine. Lesson learned? Maybe don't skimp on wind tunnel testing. And if your bridge starts dancing, time to hit the brakes and grab the dog. Puerto Rico, PR 123. Collapse, a temporary fix that turned out to be more temporary than anyone hoped. After Hurricane Maria unleashed its fury on Puerto Rico in 2017, washing away the original bridge, engineers slapped together a metal replacement. It was like the duct tape solution of civil engineering, sturdy enough until it wasn't. Fast forward to September 2022, when Hurricane Fiona rolled in with a hold my drink attitude. The swollen river beneath the bridge raged like a furious beast, and the PR 123 couldn't handle the pressure. In a spectacularly unwelcome magic trick, the entire bridge was swept away, vanishing downstream. It was all caught on camera, because, of course, nature loves a dramatic exit. The kicker? This temporary bridge cost around $3 million. That's $3 million for a structure with the lifespan of a fruit fly. Maybe next time, Puerto Rico's infrastructure can get a little less quick fix, and a little more, let's not float away in the next storm. Bear Creek Road collapsed.
Now, a water main break shutting down a busy road in Sandy Springs in both directions. And look at all this water flowing down Roswell Road. And then, as we'd feared...
Picture this, a scenic drive to Calamity Campground, perhaps humming along to your favorite tune, when suddenly, the road ahead has vanished. In May 2023, Bear Creek Road near Palisades Reservoir experienced a dramatic collapse. The culprit? An over-enthusiastic snowmelt that eroded the ground beneath, causing one lane to drop off and leaving the remaining pavement hanging on for dear life. Authorities promptly closed the road, leaving campers and boaters pondering alternative routes and perhaps reconsidering their relationship with Mother Nature. Meanwhile, in sunny California, Bear Creek Road was having its own identity crisis. Early in 2023, a culvert failure led to a sinkhole forming in the southbound lane, proving that even roads can have bad hair days. The plan? Dive deep, 25 feet to be exact, to replace the rebellious culvert and restore the road to its former glory. Until then, drivers were advised to practice patience and perhaps invest in a good off-road vehicle. Site a turn zero search. Whether it's Idaho's melting snow or California's collapsing culverts, Bear Creek Road seems to have a knack for keeping engineers on their toes and drivers on detours. Perhaps it's time we stop naming roads after bodies of water. Seems like an invitation for trouble. Yangmingtan Bridge failure. a shining example of rapid construction meeting an even quicker downfall. Spanning the Songhua River in Harbin, China, this architectural marvel stretched over 7 kilometers and boasted a sleek suspension design. Built in a record-breaking 18 months, half the planned time, it opened to much fanfare in November 2011. Wikipedia Global Times. But fast forward to August 24th, 2012, and things took a nosedive, literally. In the early hours, a 100-meter section of a ramp decided gravity was too strong to resist and collapsed, sending 4 trucks plummeting 30 meters. Tragically, 3 people lost their lives and 5 others were injured. The blame game kicked off immediately. Officials pointed fingers at overloaded trucks, claiming their combined weight exceeded the bridge's capacity. However, the public wasn't buying it, suspecting that corruption and shoddy construction practices were the real culprits. After all, when you build a massive bridge in half the time, corners might get cut, literally. This incident wasn't an isolated one. Between 2011 and 2012, China experienced multiple bridge collapses, fueling public outcry over construction quality and government oversight. Global Times. And there you have it, proof that not every engineering marvel is destined for postcard glory. Some become cautionary tales, forever etched into the what not to do manual. But while these failures may have collapsed, the lessons they left behind are rock solid. Because if there's one thing we know for sure, it's that nature, physics, and questionable decisions will always keep things interesting. Stay curious, stay grounded, and maybe double check that bridge's safety rating before crossing.